Rodeo time. Let's go.
Well, I appreciate the gift there.
Absolutely, brother.
I have something for you. It is a Fort Worth. I don't know how much it's worth, but it's 1/1000th of an ounce of gold.
So if I can get another 999 of those,
Yeah, exactly. You'd have an ounce of gold.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's got Fort Worth on there.
Dude, thank you, brother.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't
rich.
know. I don't know if you. I mean, you can fold it up. You can use it. That would be a really cool bookmarker. You know what I mean?
That's a great idea, actually.
Do you read the Bible?
I do.
Okay, you just don't act like it. So I was just wondering.
It's
But if
just-
you,
I'm
if
a
you
work-
were to use that as a bookmark in the Bible,
You know, maybe my problem is I just didn't have a bookmark, and I just keep starting on the first page.
right.
And I got
can't remember.
that first chapter of Genesis down.
Yeah, there you go.
But now,
That's from our friends at Texas Precious Metals.
I love those guys.
Well, it's from me, but via them. But yeah, if
there's
you
some
need
good folks, aren't they?
gold or silver, you're free to. Out of Shiner, Texas.
Yeah. Have you been to their compound there?
I haven't.
It's the most impressive thing I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
Yeah, it is impressive.
Yeah, I'm supposed to go down there soon, but
Oh, you got to.
I've ordered from them, but I haven't.
Yeah, you'll be blown away.
Yeah.
It's legit. They're-
Huge too, huh?
Yeah, they're good folks, man. They're
Yeah.
good people.
Yeah. But seriously, bookmark, Bible,
Bible.
gonna start.
Next time I'm here, I'm gonna make it to Exodus
Yep.
or Leviticus.
And you will now have your spot. You won't lose your spot.
Yeah, won't lose my. That's been the problem. I've been starting over.
Yeah. Horse Named Texas. It's the new album.
Yes, sir.
You are good at putting out albums.
Well,
You just stay hooked.
you know, we call it. They say there's quality and quantity. I've kind of gone with the quantity thing.
See, I don't think you just keep. I mean, I think you've just been in the game that long.
Man, I love writing a song. It's my favorite thing. And I mean it when I say I'd rather sing my songs to folks in a coffee shop than someone else's in a stadium.
Yeah.
It's just my favorite thing to do.
Uh-huh.
Like the idea of having someone give me a song and then I have to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
It just, you know, my mom's an art teacher. You know, I nothing against artists that sing other people's songs, but for me, that just feels like that thing my mom had where you could put a picture on it and it shined a light through it, and then you could trade. For me, my favorite thing is waking up early in the morning, making coffee, and working on that song and just working on it over and over and over again until I get it exactly how I want.
Right.
And I feel like, man, the Horse Named Texas album is kind of the beginning of a new chapter. I've got this 5-year plan where I'm going to put out more music than I've ever put out. And what's wild is I'm in the middle of recording 4 different albums right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like these songs I'm working on now are my best songs I've ever written. Not saying that Horse Named Texas is going to be bad, but it's so fun to be this far into my career and being more excited than ever.
13 albums.
Well,
I guess this would be 14
actually, it's going to be 20.
albums.
20 albums. I think it's the 21st. No, it's number 20. 7 of them are
I
so
thought the
bad.
last time we were here that it was 12. Last time you came on. Was that for Unwanted Man?
Gosh, maybe. You know, there's a good possibility I just told you the wrong number, and I had never. There's actually a good chance that I didn't know. Like I may have just been like, I don't know, 14.
When did the first one come out?
99.
Okay, cool.
Technically, I'm a 90s country artist. Technically,
Love it.
so you know that's you know, there's just, it's like we were talking in the truck. My oldest boy Jake is an artist, and he has caught the fever.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's kind of lit a fire under me to see his enjoyment. And as his dad, if you know, if they said, "Hey, there's not room for both of you," I'd quit like this. I think the most fun I've ever had in my musical career is seeing him on stage,
Yeah.
singing. Dude,
Yeah.
it's the coolest thing. Like during my shows now, I'll just walk off and be like, "All right, you got the keys, boy," and he just does it like he's been doing his whole life.
That's
It's
awesome.
so cool.
That's awesome. And I'm sure getting to travel with him.
Oh, it has spoiled me to the point that, like, when he's not going to be out with us this week,
Yeah.
it kind of depresses me a little. I'm like, man, oh man, Jake's not up here. You
Yeah.
know, just we hang out, we work on songs, we go do stuff together. So it definitely has spoiled me.
Yeah, because, even with rodeoing, it seems like guys that get to where they're wanting to slow down, rodeoing, it's not the rodeo that
Yeah.
makes a guy want to slow down. It's traveling too.
Yeah.
And
it's
so
all
like-
the in-betweens. You live for the rodeo.
Right.
It's everything in between it. It's getting
Yeah.
from one to the next.
Staring at a highway for 7 hours.
Golly, I know.
Yeah. Or freaking, heaven forbid, airports.
Oh, airports.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that, like the drive here from Abilene. Once I got outside of Abilene a few miles, there just wasn't another car from
Right.
Abilene to here.
Yeah.
It was so nice because I drove my truck to my shows this week because I had some other business and I didn't want to make the bus run all over the place because that thing's like $6 a mile. So I was like, I'm just going to take my truck so I can take my time. Just driving through Houston and then having to drive through Dallas, I was like, I'm not made for this.
Right.
So the drive here, I was just like, this is what I was made to do.
Right.
No cars.
Yeah. No, out here is, sometimes it's 40 miles before a town,
Yeah.
and because I love the stretch between, and just the country, like I said, we talked about, we transitioned from oak trees and into mesquites, but anyway.
It's beautiful country out here. I love it. I love it out here.
So what are you doing to, let me back up. You said, so Horse Named Texas is coming out.
Yep.
But you're working on 4 new albums
Yeah.
already?
Yeah.
Like, how come 4?
Well, I've got 2 projects with my drummer produces me a lot. Mm-hmm. And so he and I have got 2 projects going. And then I've got another guy I'm working with, Brandon Hood. And I'll be working on that album with him this week. Mm-hmm. And then we have this little side project that I can't mention yet. But I'm probably never going to mention it. People will just,
But it's fun in interviews to have that. So they're like, ooh,
what is that?
He's got a lot going and coming on, but he's even got this thing he's not telling us about.
I've got this thing I'm not telling y'all about, and you might figure it out.
Yeah.
Might be the biggest thing ever. Might be horrible.
Can you say who you're going to do that thing with?
What's with myself, but also not with myself.
Okay.
It's this old boy named Jasper.
So mysterious.
I've been
Hey,
called,
I like it.
I've been called that. Actually, I haven't, but
People in my life never even see my eyeballs, so I get it.
yeah, it's. I think the biggest thing is having fun. I'm having fun with the music, right? And having these other projects that I can work on instead of just focusing on the main one. It allows me to be a lot more productive. Like I find myself writing more when I have these other things to work on. I think it keeps me in a routine.
Well, imagine 20 albums in, like you kind of got some momentum.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about where we're at. 2020 was weird for the whole world. Mm-hmm. We started getting things back up and going because in 2019, right before everything got shut down, we had put out 2 albums that had we were killing it. Then 2020 happens and I kind of pull back the reins and we stopped pushing radio and doing all these things because I was more worried about taking care of the humans that work for me, my brothers in the band. And so that kind of got weird. And then when things started picking back up, then I had vocal cord surgery number 1.
Dang.
And then I had vocal cord surgery number 2, like 15 months after that. So finally I've realized I had to stop screaming at my kids.
Yeah.
And And real, people say, how did you hurt your voice? Honestly, I think it was probably yelling at the boys at baseball games.
Right.
Like just cheering, you know. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that anymore.
I've been super intrigued at listening to different musicians talk about their the difference in, you know, writing and playing.
Yeah.
You know, and well, I guess just they're such different activities that it's wild that I feel like, you know, the people with a little longevity in their careers, they are in love with both sides of it.
Yeah.
I guess the connection is obviously you're the one that wrote it, but I mean, writing music and then playing on stage in front of a few thousand people, those are two very different things to me.
Very much.
It seems so crazy to be different, but I guess maybe the passion behind it is what might give somebody who's not cut out to perform, maybe it gives them courage because of their...
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I think both of them can be learned. You know, like I will see some artists and I'm like, man, he is such a gifted...
Which one would be easier to learn though?
I think getting on stage. I think getting up there and having fun and the energy. For me, I think that would be a little more natural because, or a little easier to learn, because that's something you can work on, you know, your stage presence and you can, but I think
exercise that muscle.
Yeah. I think the writing thing, man, I think that's something you can also work at. And I think it's like with all things, the more you practice, the better you get. But for me, I feel like the writing thing is a little more,
you've got that artistic ability.
Yeah. Because I've got some buddies that are great performers and they're like, man, I can't write a song to save my life. I just don't get ideas. And that's just not how they're wired. But then they can get up on stage and they're just a rock star, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess if you were going to just have someone be inherently good at one or the other, writing the music, and then, I was super, you know, being in FFA, chose to do a lot of public speaking and obviously nervous at the beginning, but to me, public speaking got really easy the better prepared I was for that thing.
Yeah.
With, you know, having, whether it was memorized or I was just really knowledgeable on the subject.
Yeah.
But I think those are the two. So I feel like if you are nervous about performing your music, if you could knock it out of the park, sing it backwards, play it backwards, the better you know it.
Yeah. I think FFA is a great tool for kids too, because you hear that story a lot where they're like, I would have never gotten up in front of people.
Right.
And then once they realized that they could, they started getting a little more confident. And but I still have those shows, like performing it wasn't my cup of tea in the beginning, and I didn't really like it. And I was like, dude, you got to get over this.
Dang.
And now I enjoy it, you know, but there still are those shows where I'm like, what am I doing? Yeah. Why am I here?
What do you mean?
I think there's certain shows, like big shows, where I'm like, I don't think I should even be on this stage, where I kind of start to doubt myself.
Okay.
And it's an interesting thing. And that's where I'm kind of like, dude, suck it up. Stop being a baby.
Yeah.
You know, you're
like an insecurity. Is that what?
Maybe a little insecurity, but I think it's also one of those things where I'm like, what am I? It's also kind of an appreciation for like the fans. Like, I don't deserve this. What in the world am I? It's a weird thing. But I've also heard stories about like huge rock stars that before they get up on stage, they're just sick to their stomach and they don't. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
You would have never known it.
Right.
And it's probably just head games, you know, mind games, getting up there, you know, questioning yourself. But I rarely do that, but every now and then it'll kind of creep up on me and I'm like, ooh, that's weird. And then I'm, you know, once the first note hits, I kind of put it on autopilot. But
do you feel like you're there for the evening? Meaning like obviously you're going to entertain them right then, but like, or do you feel like the work's already been put in by like them appreciating your music up to that point? Or is it more, and now they're just here to kind of celebrate your music with you? Or is it more like the experience starts now?
I kind of feel like it's like the experience starts now. Because I always think, man, maybe there's somebody out there that just stumbled into this place and they don't know who I am. So I always try to, think this is a new opportunity to get my music out in front of new people, even though there's tons of people out there singing along with me. For them, they make my job easy. I mean, when you've got hundreds or thousands of people singing along with you, your job's so easy. It's just like, it just makes it's more when you get up in front of a crowd and no one's singing with you. You've got to kind of earn it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got to earn it tonight.
Yeah. So you got to work a little harder. And I think too, there's something to say about like staying focused, because you're up there playing and you're trying to remember words to songs. So if you've got everybody out there with you singing with you, you're very engaged. But if you're like, up there singing and, I can remember back in the day, I'm trying to remember words to songs and there's like 4 or 5 girls kind of with their back turned towards me and they're taking selfies and they're having, and it's almost like I'm not there. You start thinking about things in your head. Like, what are they doing when you really should be focusing on?
Oh, I can't imagine that.
I've
heard of guys forgetting lyrics.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's just a chaotic party out there, even if they're even if they're into it, like if they're distracted and doing their own thing, that can be a totally different. But even if they're like super into it, like I can't imagine the distractions. What is like some of the most, I don't want to say disturbing, maybe disturbing, I don't know. But like something that just like, I cannot believe this just happened.
Well, a few times one time we were playing a show and this lady was breastfeeding right in front of me. And I was like, and her baby had on little headphones, which was super cute. And the mom is having the time of her life. And little man is just, but I was like,
that's
look,
too much.
Don't look.
Too much.
I was like, don't look, Watson. Don't look, because everybody's looking to see if you're going to be looking. And
I mean, what do you do? Like,
I was dialed in her eyes.
Yeah.
But that was,
you can't acknowledge anything because the moment you go, all right, that's just
look, a little guy, get it, anyways.
But there are more and more people, women breastfeeding in public these days. I feel like than there used to be. Is it more popular now? Like, it's almost like that's why women have a baby, so they can go breastfeed in public.
In public, I've seen it like sat next to a lady and she just started feeding her baby there at the airport, which,
it's like she wants people, like they'll like turn towards the audience, like they're the performer. Yeah. She was performing for you.
She was.
What I feel like was going on.
And I feel like if I look over there, I need to do this. Like
put your hand up,
ma'am. But I don't know if it's just become, they've probably, like in other parts of the world, it's probably always been like that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's different for me. And I think that
my wife had something called Hida Hooter.
Okay. Is that like it's like an interesting shirt?
It's like a shirt thing, where you could.
That's a handy name too.
Yeah, a little Hida Hooter.
Yeah, see, put on a Hida Hooter.
You know what I ought to do? I ought to just carry a couple of those Hida Hooters.
Ooh, you get them as a sponsor.
Yeah, and then when it happens once again in the next 20 years, I'll be ready. Yeah. And I'll hand that lady, hey, ma'am, time out. Guys, stop the show.
Right.
Be like, brought to you by Hida Hooter.
Yeah, we'd like to thank our friends at Hida Hooter for providing this lovely young lady, busty young lady.
Yeah, because ma'am, I'm having a hard time remembering words right now.
Yeah. And then sometimes like maybe it's just a young fan, no kids, and she's just enjoying the show that much. And you got to throw her a Hida Hooter just because she's enjoying the show.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you can tell, like, you and I, we're very mature about this. Have you noticed that this old boy over here
just cannot stop giggling?
Every time we say Hooter, it's the biggest smile you've ever seen. It's like,
And he's a nurse by trade. You'd think that he'd be able to keep his composure.
Well, I'm just thinking of like a T-shirt cannon at a concert.
Oh, yeah.
How to Hooter it.
How to Hooter cannon. Yeah. That's a good idea. Maybe there's like a special How to Hooter tosser guy that goes out there. But I don't know. I think that most people used to do that. Like use the cape, the sheet. But anyway.
It's gotten
out of hand.
It's gotten out of hand.
Yeah. But good for the baby, I guess. Like they get to be cultured and go to they're getting to hear.
The boy was hungry.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want a honky tonk and a snack?
Exactly. In his defense, why not?
Yeah, he had a good day.
That was a concert. Good day. Yeah.
Front row.
Yeah, front row to two things. Aaron Watson and his
mama. Yeah.
Milk wagons.
The honky tonk and Hooter.
Yeah.
The Hooter honky tonk. Man, he can't handle this.
How your show has evolved, has it not?
It has. It's evolved.
What was the crazy things you saw in 1999? Because I imagine this wasn't a 99 crowd.
Well, it could involve Hooters, but it wasn't breastfeeding.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You still need to throw them a How to Hooter.
Yeah, they need one too.
Yeah.
So, there's fights. Like I've seen some great brawls. Like just dudes when you see
Is there one that stands out?
Oh yeah. We played a rodeo. Golly, it was somewhere up in Northern California. I can't remember what rodeo that was. And it's packed. And I see these two guys kind of start shoving. And man, this guy hits this guy so square that I heard it over the PA system.
Right.
And at that point I'm dialed in. Because I'm like, this is better than MMA.
Right.
They are throwing punches back and forth. It was legit. And so I was like, okay. I think at some point I was like, did I just sing the first verse or the second verse? Like where am I in this song?
Right.
Those kind of things. So it's just, there's so many things that can get you distracted because it's a weird feeling because you'll have your ears in, which is you're listening to the band through your ears. So you're playing the music and you're looking around at all these people and everything. There's just all these different things coming on. It's almost like, like a dog, like a lab squirrel, you throw a ball. So I have to really I really try to dial in on the people that are dialed into me.
Yeah.
And that's the ones that I perform.
For sure.
Perform to.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's a good, that's a good play.
It just, it all comes back around to the How to Hooter at the end of the day,
Yeah. Well,
that's how we all got here in the first place, right?
Yeah. Circle of life.
What I guess what we're trying to say is on the Horse Named Texas tour, if you're breastfeeding, bring the baby.
Bring the baby. And then if the baby gets hungry, don't be afraid.
It's a Hooter-friendly environment.
It is a Hooter-friendly environment.
My mom sees this. She's going to be like, what is wrong with you?
I know. There's going to be some people like, you guys are idiots.
Yeah.
You guys are immature.
Well, if they say that to me, I usually if somebody says something to me, nasty on social media, usually I'm like, you're not wrong.
Well, you do seem to, you don't mind firing back on social media.
Yeah, I have a little fun with it. You know, we had...
And you've called some people out.
Yeah. I've got some of that coming out this week.
What do you mean?
There's just some, I'm very protective of country music and it's suddenly become very popular. And you've just got all these people who are coming in now. I feel like sometimes it's like to make a quick buck. So sometimes when I see something out there, I'm like, but it was the weirdest thing was, I had Zach Bryan commenting. He would make comments on some of my TikToks and would say weird things.
Like what?
Like one time he said, bro, where are all the dead bodies? And so I responded back to him and I was like, they're at my ranch. Come over to the house and I'll show you. But I was like, what is that all about?
Yeah,
Like,
what does that even mean?
I don't know. And I don't know why you just sold your catalog for like 100 and I think actually 300 million or some crazy. Why are you even messaging little old me?
Yeah.
And why did you say that about the ball? Like, that's weird.
I've never even heard that rumor about you. Is it like, did he get you confused with Garth Brooks?
Maybe.
Doesn't everybody think that Tom Segura?
Apparently, there's some deal where people say that places where Garth has played, people turn up missing.
Yeah.
So,
Which I think is all a big joke, but I don't know. It just seems like that's not very, that'd be really hard to hide over the years. But
so one time I prank called Garth. I don't know if I've ever told anybody this. We were in Austin recording at Ray Benson's studio, Sleep at the Wheel, and Ray had a Rolodex.
okay.
And I was going through this Rolodex. For all you kids, a Rolodex before cell phones, it was the like, I don't know how to best describe it, but like it's just all these
wheel
papers.
with a bunch of papers, yeah.
It's a wheel with a bunch of numbers, and it just keeps going around. And you could take it out and keep it all in alphabetical order. So there was Garth Brooks' number there. So I called him at like 2 a.m.
Ooh.
And he answered. And you feel like you know him because you know his voice. And I said, "Is Bob there?" And he goes, "Why would Bob be at my house at 2 o'clock in the morning?" And I was like, "My bad." And I hung up. Years later, I saw an interview and he was talking about his manager, his name was Bob. So I just randomly picked the name Bob, and Garth thought I was calling, asking to talk to his manager. But I shouldn't have prank called you, Garth. Sorry about that.
So maybe Garth got, did you say Zach Bryan?
Yeah.
Maybe Garth got Zach. Hey, let's get Aaron back.
They got together.
And he was like, we're going to spin this whole dead body rumor on me, and we're going to put it on Aaron Watson.
They're all out to get me, you know? I don't know why, but you know.
Is that the only thing he's commented?
No, he made a couple other comments on, said something one time about he said something about Braxton Keith a couple of times.
Oh, okay.
And I don't even know. I remember I screenshotted it and sent it to Braxton, and I was like, what in the world? So, you know, so I don't know. I like having fun with social media, and
sounds like Zach Bryan does too.
Yeah, he does.
Maybe he's just having fun with picking on old Aaron Watson.
Yeah, I think he just, you know, just picking on a little fella over here.
Had you said something about him?
I'd done it. I made some video when he tried to fight Gavin Adcock, which I was like, you know,
let's get along.
No, I was kind of like, my buddy was like, we were there all day, and he could have gone up to Gavin at any point in time, but he waited until there was a fence in between them. And I made some video, you know, he hopped that fence with a barbed wire at the top, and I'm like, man, you're lucky you didn't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what I said, but I think he's doing good. I heard he got married. You know, that's all us guys need. We need some gal to
keep us out of fights with Gavin.
Yeah. And Gavin's a big old boy. I love me some Gavin Adcock. So he
doesn't look small.
No. I think I could outrun him.
Is he married?
He's not married, but he's got him a little girlfriend. He'll post something, you know, a little salty now and then, but then he'll post something real sweet. He's a little salty sweet. He's a good dude though.
Braxton's supposed to come on.
I love Braxton.
Yeah.
You know, I've liked Braxton's music for a while. You know, his stuff in the beginning had a little bit of a Marty Robbins cowboy campfire kind of vibe to it. And I really like where his sound has gone. I mean, he's got his own style.
Yeah.
You know, just the way he phrases words and sings.
Yeah.
It's different. it's made him, it makes his sound, he's very recognizable. So I like his songwriting. So
What do you plan to do tour wise to help promote the album?
man, we were playing nonstop.
Really?
We're all over the place. I mean, we're just playing and playing and playing.
Yeah.
So I know we're heading out to the Northeast for a couple of weeks, and you know, but like always, you know, we come to see you thinking this could be the break.
Yeah.
So
you know what? The rest of it's just all downhill.
Yeah,
After
you
we've been
know.
on the Rodeo Time podcast.
You know, it's like nothing. You know, nothing. All once I'm here with you, the rest. Who cares about what else we do?
Okay, check. We got that
Check.
out of the way.
Success.
When is that?
Success.
Yeah. When's the actual album release?
March 6th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's actually coming out on Jake's birthday. The first release has 26 songs, so there's got to be one decent one in there,
Yeah.
just by chance,
Maybe.
right?
At least. Surely one of them's going to hit.
And then we're going to put out like a platinum edition with some more songs. So surely after, if we miss the mark, the first 26, surely.
What made you put 26 on there? You
I
just
just-
couldn't narrow it down?
I just been writing and recording so much that I was like, let's just throw them all out there.
Yeah.
You know, just getting the fans more music.
How do you decide? I mean, because you still got to play some old stuff whenever you put a set together.
Yeah. We do a lot. We do some
I
medleys.
guess nobody really plays the entire album whenever they tour. Though.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
we pick like 4 or 5 and
45 is a lot.
no, 4 to 5.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Sorry, but 45 would be a lot.
That would be a lot.
And that'd be really hard because if there's only 26 songs on there to play 45 new
Yeah,
ones,
that's true.
you'd have to almost play them all twice.
Yeah. So that's even more ridiculous that you said that.
It would be, you know, it would be, but it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
That's just really hitting them over the head. Like
Maybe they're really short songs.
they're very short.
Yeah.
That's the thing. People are like 26 songs. I'm like, well, they're very short songs. So, you know, don't give me too much credit.
Right.
But just having more fun than I've ever had making music. And it's this is always exciting when you finally get to like the music you've been working on. You
Yeah.
finally get to throw it out there for people.
Right.
And the Horse Named Texas song, it's kind of about my career, you know, saddled up my dreams on a horse named Texas, hit those honky tonkin' trails like those outlaw boys. I've been roping cowboy songs on a horse named Texas, tied a few good ones down, made a lot of neon noise. You know, from those shine frontier days to that grand old Opry stage, I rode right smack down the middle on the streets of Music Row. I never traded in my boots and jeans, still playing that dance hall down in Green. I never sold out, but every now and then I sold out a couple of shows. Still playing that country gold, still got a long ways to go on a horse named Texas.
Wow.
It's just kind of my career.
Yeah.
Came up short, been bucked off, had my heart stomped in the dirt, but I got back up, got back on time and time again. And after all these years, I've learned a winner is just a loser who keeps on losing till the day they finally win. You know, and it's just about getting out there, the grind, just working hard, persistence.
Is it too late to make any changes to that?
If you'd like to, I could.
I just didn't know
Well,
if it is.
that could be the platinum edition.
I'll come back in the platinum.
We'll come back with the platinum edition.
Yeah.
And if don't gold, platinum,
The Dale Brisby edit.
the DB edit, the dance
Little
version,
techno.
little techno version.
What were they used to be called? Chopped and screwed.
Yeah, chopped
and screwed.
Yeah, that's what we'll
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah. Aaron Watson, chopped and
Chopped
screwed.
and screwed. That's a great.
Do you still go down to Green Hall?
Oh yeah, we play there once a year. Still, we play the first Friday and Saturday right after Thanksgiving. That's always been our weekend.
Oh, really?
It's fun because lots of families are down there. It's a ton of
So
fun.
people know that. Like they
Yeah.
angle for it.
Yeah, they know that that's when we're heading down there. We'll play a couple of nights. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah, that's neat. You have your one weekend. Billy Bob's too, huh?
Yeah. Billy Bob's. We've been playing Billy Bob's for forever as well. So those are just kind of the good old Texas standards.
What else is a staple in Texas? Green, Billy Bob's. Used to be like Texas Hall of Fame and College Station, or
that was the best.
Yeah. Then it was Harry's.
Yeah.
Now I guess, what is it? Wolf Pen Amphitheater.
Yeah, Wolf Pen's been there for a while, but man, when the old Hall of Fame was there,
yeah,
man, that place was so great.
Yeah.
So one time, I hadn't been married very long, and I don't remember what I said. I stick my boot in my mouth all the time, but she had to help me make a van payment or something, and she had a job at the bank, and she made some funny comment about being the breadwinner, right?
Yeah.
Well, that next week we sold out the Hall of Fame. And I mean that I don't think that they had a fire marshal at that time, because you could just pack them in.
And that's a big place. A big place.
It was a big place.
Huge.
Felt like a Walmart in there.
For sure.
And I can't remember how much we made.
I don't know about a super center, but like a
old school Walmart.
Yeah, like a normal Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a big normal Walmart.
Big
like
normal.
borderline, like a super center's like little brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still big.
Big old place.
Much larger than a small shotgun bar.
And I don't remember how much we made that night, but we made a lot of money.
Yeah.
So much so I didn't even know how am I supposed to take off? I mean, they paid us cash.
Oh, cash.
It was cash.
That is an old school.
I got 2 big pillowcases.
Oh.
And I take them in there, and we are just throwing money in these pillowcases. And I mean, we stack. We're talking.
Why is that something you weren't prepared for? What did you take, like a percentage of the gate?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I mean, a lot of places would write us a check, but they paid us in cash.
Yeah.
And so I got home that Sunday, and I thought, I'll show her. Because I did the math, and I was like, I just made more tonight than she makes all year.
Whoa.
So I was getting cocky.
Yeah.
And I went in there, and she was sleeping like a little angel, and I decided to dump the money on the bed.
That's hilarious.
So I did. And I said, you better get up, count this. But then I realized quickly it was a bad idea, because that money smelt like like a dirty, nasty third world honky tonk bar.
Yeah.
And I could smell it all throughout our little house.
Yeah, because they allow smoking in that one.
The whole house stunk because of that money.
Yeah.
So I retreated, apologized. I started putting the money.
Yeah, bad joke. Sorry.
Bad joke. Sorry I woke you up. Sorry about the smell.
Yeah.
But that always makes me laugh.
Ooh, that would, because that was, and College Station went to where you couldn't smoke inside, but the hall was in Bryan.
The hall, there were no rules at the hall.
No rules. Yeah.
And man, that money smelled bad. It made the whole house smell.
Ooh, dirty
money. I think when we got back from church, we could still smell that dirty money in the house.
Yeah.
I had to go to church twice that week.
Right.
All that dirty money.
Oh, that's awesome. You get to take Jake now.
Yeah, that's a treat. That it's kind of spoils me.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's I can still see him. He's been playing with me at Green Hall since he was that tall.
Right.
But now he's just getting up there and singing by himself. And
does he enjoy the songwriting part of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he'll come over tonight. When he gets out of class this afternoon, he's coming straight to the house, and we're working on songs. Yeah. So he's gonna probably get in. And
has he cut an album yet?
This summer.
Oh, nice.
Cutting some songs.
Does he have a name for it yet?
No, we talked about that on the drive yesterday. I was like, what are you thinking? I was talking about some of the songs we've written. And he was like, man, I don't know, Dad. Maybe just the first one's just called Jake Watson. I was like, you can't go wrong with that, you know? So it's fun. As a dad, I want to, I really want to be a little more controlling because I'm protective, but I have to kind of call myself off. It's kind of like, I kind of treat it like it's baseball. Like if he's hitting the ball well, I don't say a lot, but if he's up there at the plate struggling,
right,
I might get in there and give him my 2 cents a little bit. So I kind of hold it back.
Yeah.
Kind of let him get out there and do his own thing. But man, it's a treat for me. It makes it, I already feel like I don't have a job. Like it's on stage is just that's not the job part of it. It's like we were saying, the rodeo is not the job. It's the in between.
Getting there and
But when he's on stage with me, I mean, in between songs, in the middle of a song, I'll be strumming. I'll go over there and try to kick him, and he just smiles, and we have a blast. It's so much fun.
Did you ever get to take the other two?
Jack's not much into music. That boy is, man, into gold and silver and stocks and business.
Gotcha.
I mean, that boy's
actually making money.
He's too smart for the music industry.
Yeah, Dad, can we just go in silence?
Yeah, Dad, can we just
turn it down?
Of course, he likes,
I bet that was just the most hurtful thing to hear a son of yours say, turn it down.
Dad, can you turn it down?
Just a notch.
Dad, please, we don't have to listen to you, Dad.
Yeah.
And then Jolie, my daughter, she's 16, and she'll go out with me some. She's 16 going on 40.
Yeah.
She was in a bad mood the other day, and I was trying to be funny, and she was like, Dad, I know you're trying, but you're making it worse. And I was like, wow, you're a full-grown woman now.
Wow.
I mean, boys are just boys. This is what we are.
Uh-huh.
Girls are different. They're way more complex. They're smarter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, boys may be book smart, but I can ask the boys, how was your day at school? I don't know. Did you learn anything? I don't know. I can ask Jolie, and she'll be like, well, okay, here's what happened today. And she just, I mean, that girl can sit there and read a book and crochet and watch TV.
Do you not know anything anymore in her eyes? Or do you still have a little bit of have you held on to the way she looked at you when she was 4?
Yeah, I've held on to it.
Oh, good.
And I don't give her a choice.
Yeah.
I don't give her a choice.
How do you do that?
We do a lot of stuff together. We go get coffee. And
earn it.
I earn it.
Yeah.
I once upon a time, she was just always with me. Now I make myself available to her 24/7. So if she needs to run to town, I use that as an excuse for us to go get coffee. Mm-hmm. If she needs to go to the store. So I really just kind of her guy.
Yeah, you bet.
But we go get coffee, and we go to the bookstore, and we go to the record store, an acai bowl.
Oh, an acai bowl. Gotcha. Yeah. That's
You
like the yogurt thing.
It's something.
I don't.
It's supposed to be healthy, but I feel like I'm eating ice cream.
Yeah.
But I really just try to make myself available to her.
Mm-hmm.
But we take a lot of trips to town, do a lot of stuff together. If she wants to go get something to eat,
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's fun. She still, they do reach an age where it's like I used to walk through the front door, and they would all attack me and just hit me running.
Yeah. And
then one day that kind of stops.
Yeah. But you don't know what day it is.
You don't know what day it is. That's there are moments.
You're a few days after that right now.
Yeah.
Dang.
And there are moments when I walk through the front door, and I think about watching them run from different directions and attack me. And it doesn't happen anymore. But luckily my dog, Bandy never lets me down. Bandy gets so excited she just pees, and I'm like, that's love.
Yeah.
That is love. When you get so excited that you pee, that's love.
My sister's horse was named Bandy. Yeah.
Good old Bandy. But it's also fun at the same time, where it's fun watching them mature and become their own people.
Yeah.
But man, it changes fast.
Yeah.
I had guys always say, hey, dude, do not blink. And I remember thinking, oh, whatever. I'm right in the middle of the battle. When they're small, it's intense. Mm-hmm. But man, they were right. Don't blink. I mean, but at the same time, every stage has been so fun.
Oh,
it's just fun.
Can't imagine.
I mean, I took both boys to Vegas during NFR. They're going to, they're coming to my show. They went to one of the big MMA fights. they're just having the time of their life. And it's so cool because they're dudes now.
Right.
So it's fun.
Yeah. How old's your other boy?
Jack is 18.
Gotcha.
So we got 19, 18, and 16.
Gotcha. Cool.
So it happens fast, though. Boy, it happens fast.
Well, I think that, I mean, getting to do life with them too, like that's just got to make it, well, probably go a little bit faster, but also make you feel a little less guilty for being gone. Is he going with you this whole tour?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
He comes out with me a lot. But, you know, that's a great point that you made. It's just like, you know, we all got to work. And it's just how you balance it and making home a priority. And so I always felt like I did a pretty good job balancing it. It's like if I was out for a week, then I was like, we're not doing anything the next week. So then I could be there. And so when I was gone, I was completely gone. But when I was home, man, I was there 24/7.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it you know, part of the most difficult things were like, you know, I coached all the practices, baseball practices, but then I missed some of the games. You know, it's things like that. But it's so important to be there for the practices.
Yeah.
And just everything that you can. So yeah, definitely, you know, it's a juggling act, but you'll never regret you'll never regret passing up some business opportunity because your daughter has ballet or baseball or rodeo. You'll never go, man, I should have gone and done that speaking engagement or that other show. You'll say, there's just no way you sit there when they're grown going, man, I'm so glad that I went to all the nutcrackers and the baseball games and the basketball games and the football. I mean, those things are the things that really stick out.
Do you think, has Jake, I'm sure he's already experienced it to a degree. You know, you've just, well, maybe not because he hasn't released an album, but like whenever it does come, like you've only accomplished this because your dad did this.
Yeah, he's talked about that a little bit. And I'm like, I told Jake, I said, listen, if I was a plumber and we had Watson Plumbing and you came to me and said, Dad, I want to be a plumber like you. I go, what do you think I would do? Do you think I'd be like, well, sorry, son, you're on your own. You go start your own plumbing company.
Yeah.
You would come in. I'd be like, this is awesome. I have somebody to kind of.
I need someone anyway.
Yeah. So I told him, I was like, country music's the family business.
Right.
I said, so, you know, you've been practicing for all these years.
Yeah.
You've been coming to shows for all these years. I go, it's, you know, if I looked at myself, did I have those opportunities? I didn't.
Yeah.
But I said, man, how excited am I that because of what I do, you want to do the same thing. Like, I was like, dude, that's just the best thing. And I told him too, I go, this is why though, you got to work 10 times harder because there are going to be some people that go, oh, because his dad's Aaron.
Well, and it's also too, probably a little bit of like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Cause
yeah,
you know, Jack could probably experience somebody throwing shade at some point because he didn't.
Yeah.
And so which boat do you want to be in, you know? And it's just, no matter what you do, you either do absolutely nothing ever and you go hide, or you do something and someone will criticize you. So you might as well pick the route you want to go.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
gets the bills paid better.
Yeah. And I've told Jack, I'm like, dude, it's fine that you're not interested in music. I said, but also just like I am with your brother, I'd like to be involved with anything that you're passionate about. Like we've talked about small businesses that he, you know, I'm like, hey, you know, we've talked about, you know, buying some porta potties and renting them out and starting a little business. And I'm like, dude, I'm all about anything. Like, Jack, whatever your passion is, it's going to be my passion too.
Right, you bet.
So I was like, dude, if it's buying porta potties, I was like, your old man will get in there and I will wash out those porta potties and we will drop them off and we'll pick them up and that's the thing. Like whatever your thing is, it's going to be my thing too.
Right.
So, I mean, but they all know that, it's like the one thing that all three kids have is they've got work ethic. I love that about them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just great kids. I'm so lucky. I've got,
What's your daughter going to do?
whatever the heck she wants.
Yeah, she's 16.
Yeah. She loves music and she writes. She blows me away with the stuff that she writes. I don't know, but this.
Would you ever sing one of their songs?
Yeah, I would. If they wanted me to, I think that would be so fun.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be really cool. And Jolie and I, we write, and Jake and I write all the time too. So it's fun to, like it's probably a year ago, Jolie and I are working on a song, and it's about a boy, and I was like, "What is this?" And she's like, "Dad, chill. It's just a song."
Yeah.
I was like, "So this isn't,
Right.
I'm also like, "Why are you angry?"
Yeah. That's Taylor Swift's fault.
It's totally Taylor Swift's fault.
Yeah.
She's
Making these girls angry.
right. Us guys already have it rough enough.
Yeah.
And now
angry and into tight ends all of a
yeah, I
sudden.
tell you what, you ain't kidding.
Well, I'm not trying to wrap up, but we normally do wrap up with life advice, and I'm curious what.
Oh, life advice. Well, it's kind of like if I had any life advice, I would probably more share something like from my dad. Like when I'm talking to the boys about business.
Yeah.
My dad was a disabled veteran and he was also a janitor. And I think there was a stage of my life when I was little that maybe I was kind of maybe embarrassed that my dad was a janitor. And I could have been 7 or 8, right? Like, and I'd like to go back and just slap that kid in the face.
Yeah.
And because now I realize I'm more proud that my dad was a janitor than I would be if he was a doctor.
Right.
Or a singer. Because my job kind of gets elevated. People think it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine having a job that has no glory, but you do it and you do it well because God blessed you with that job. And because of that job, you're able to take care of your family.
Yeah.
And that was my dad.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, we were cleaning toilets and I was complaining about it. All my buddies were across the street swimming at the town club, which was a little swimming place across from our church that we cleaned. And I was being a turd. And I remember I had those big yellow gloves on. And I may have even told you this story back in the day, but it's a story that defined me.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad was in a stall next to me. We're cleaning toilets, and I'm just complaining and complaining. And I remember my dad reached his head around the stall door, and he goes, "Hey." And I looked at him. He goes, "Do you think that when I was your age, I said, hey, someday I want to grow up and I want to clean toilets?" And I just remember looking at him. He goes, "But I got drafted. I went to war. Almost died. Never thought I'd ever have a family or get married. I met your mom. I was blessed to have you and your sister." He goes, "And this is my job." And he literally said, he goes, "God has blessed me with this job. And because of this job, I was able to buy you a new glove. Because of this job, I'm able to put food on the table." And my dad said, "So you can bet that when we walk out of this bathroom, these will be the cleanest toilets in town." And man, when my boys write their name, I'm like, "You write that name nice. You take your time when you write your name because that is your granddaddy's name."
Yeah.
you know? And so that's the thing, is just being proud of your job,
Mm-hmm.
taking pride in that. Not like pride, like you're but knowing that you put in your best effort.
Do you think like in that moment, like he knew like this is really good for Aaron?
I bet so.
Like seeing those gloves on his son's hands, like,
Yeah.
yes, it would have been nice to have been in a position to have a higher paying job, but this is really good for my son.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And really, that job, working with Dad, those were my best memories of my life.
Mm-hmm.
We'd get up early and we'd go get some McDonald's, and we'd go to the church and clean or whatever he was cleaning, and we would work together and we would listen to music.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had some of our favorite little hole in the wall Mexican restaurants that we'd go hit for lunch. Then we'd go work.
Yeah.
Then we'd head from work to baseball practice.
Yeah.
I mean, I think about those things now, and I'm like, man, he must have been tired.
Yeah.
But yet, who was coaching all my baseball teams? My dad. Not to mention he's a disabled veteran.
Right.
And I'm telling you, no matter, there were times when I was tired, and my boys would say, Dad, can we go play catch? And everything inside of me would say, no, I'm tired. I'll do it later. My dad never said that to me.
Dang.
He was always like, all right, we'll go get the gloves.
Yeah.
And so I found myself, and that is, had I not had that kind of dad, I probably would have said, no, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And so now I'm glad I had that, because our playing catch days are kind of done.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just really thankful that I never said no, you know? So, but I think as a dad, you know, we all have those moments where it's like, okay, this is an opportunity for me to teach my son a great life lesson.
Yeah.
And I think definitely Dad, me with the old yellow gloves on and cleaning, and him just taking me with him all the time and working, you know, it gave me a great appreciation for just how lucky I am right now to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah, that too.
golly,
Make you appreciate coming home from the Texas Hall of Fame with a pillowcase full of money.
It does.
Yeah, for sure.
it
that
also-
hits way different.
It also, when's enough? When's enough? Like, okay, well, you sold out this place. There's 2,000 people. Is that not enough? Oh, wait, you want to sell out a shed for 6,000 people? Oh, wait, you want to sell out the stadium? I mean, you have to find, it's okay to be hungry, but at the same time, you need to be thankful and content for where you're at in that moment. You know, you can't just keep pushing. And I have some friends that if they don't have some type of hit on the radio or something happening, I almost feel like they let that control them. And it's easy for me to say because I've always been independent, and that's never been really what drives my business.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think you have to look at the moment that you're in and make the most of it.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's easy for people to put their pride as a priority.
Yeah.
And so, like, they got to have that hit to beat whoever, to
Yeah.
be better than whoever, but then mask it with, well, I've got to pay the bills, you know, kind of
Yeah.
deal.
Oh, yeah. I see that a lot. And I think it also helps, too, that, like, a lot of the guys I look up to are guys that never had top 40 hits.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I can look at their songs and I'm like, those are masterpieces. And
Yeah.
also, too, I understand as I've gotten into the business that, man, I mean, there are some artists that are wildly talented, and then there's some that I'm like, man, I feel like some of my buddies back in Texas can play them under the table.
Yeah.
and have better songs. But you realize it's just kind of once you're in that machine and they're spending the money on you, you know, it's about being at the right place at the right time. But I've realized that like this is a career. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't about what this song's going to do on radio.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's not a hit, you know, you just get up there and the next at bat, try to get you another hit, you know, which is another great analogy. Baseball gave me a great foundation for what I'm doing today. I mean, baseball just is all about failure, overcoming the failures. I mean, it's like you've heard it before, but a Hall of Fame hitter gets out 70% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to deal with that. So I'm pretty good at that. You know, if you know, management calls me up and they're like, hey, you know, this song has lost its momentum. You know, there's a little bit of disappointment. We've been working hard to push it. And I'm like, all right, well, let's talk tomorrow about what's the next game plan, you know, and it's just about being persistent. And that's what I try to pass down to my kids, and especially Jake right now, since he's the oldest. I'm like, dude, you know, I know this big label is very interested in you and you're excited, but don't put all your eggs in that basket.
Yeah.
Because if that doesn't materialize, I don't want you to be devastated.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I was like, let's focus on the things that we can control.
Yeah, you bet.
Like working hard every day, trying to write good songs, just the things that we can control. And really, what can we control, really? But, you know,
yeah,
easier said than done. I'm still learning.
Well, I can't wait to listen to Horse Named Texas.
I'm going to send you the link here in a minute.
Do it, yeah. I got to drive this afternoon.
Heck yeah, buddy.
We'll listen to it.
Well, I always appreciate you, all you've done for me. And
well, you're welcome here anytime. I appreciate you. It helped me move some bulls this morning. Took a bull to the sale barn.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
I feel like I really pulled my weight.
Yeah, you did. Cracked you pulled the gate on. We bucked him twice.
Yeah.
And helped me get him loaded.
He just wasn't a keeper.
He was not a keeper.
He just
On to the
wasn't a
next
keeper.
one. Yeah. But Horse Named Texas is a keeper.
March 6th.
March 6th is the date.
Go pre-save it now.
Yeah.
We'll
probably release this podcast.
Got three kids going to college. I'll mention that.
Yeah, all the proceeds from this album goes to feed the hungry.
Yeah.
And Aaron and his family of 5 gets hungry 3 times a day.
3 times a day. Yeah, exactly. College tuition will make a dad go hungry.
Oh, I bet that's right.
Oh,
Ooh,
man.
No thanks.
Oh, boy. Well, I'm encouraging my kids like, hey, what about trade school?
What about welding?
What about welding? You'd be a good welder, Jack.
That's funny.
I'm like, Jack, I'll buy you for your first welding rig. Come on.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
I had a blast today. And if you need anything, hey, if you ever need help moving some more bulls, I'm just right down the road.
I'll call you.
Let's
get
go.
some day work.
Get me
on
on
to
the
the
house.
next one, everybody. Pow, pow.